Last night, a Muslim asked me why Jesus is the only way. I said, Mister, read your Quran, Surah 19, and read the Quran chapter 3 too. You will see that Jesus is the only way. If you don't believe, God will punish you. Last night, a Muslim asked me why Jesus is the only way. I said, Mister, read your Quran, Surah 19, and read the Quran chapter 3 too. You will see that Jesus is the only way. And if you don't believe, God will punish you. Last night, a Muslim asked me why Jesus is the only way. I said, Mister, read your Quran, Surah 19, and read the Quran chapter 3 too. You will see that Jesus is the only way. And if you don't believe, God will punish you. Thank you for welcoming us into your living room again today. We're very happy to fellowship with you. Today we are going to talk about something that is very, very important, as you can see from the song that started. It said, a Muslim asked me why Jesus is the only way. Why? Well, it's not only Muslims that are asking these questions. Even Christians are asking these questions. And today we will try to see, to go through the scriptures and try to understand what this is all about. The first text that we are going to look at is Romans chapter 1 verse 16. Romans chapter 1 verse 16. I will read quickly from the King James Version, Romans chapter 1 verse 16. Say, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. The first question is, why religion? Why do we need religion? That's a fundamental question. Why do we need religion? When you ask people that question, you get different answers from different people. Some people know that there are questions about our existence in this world, questions that we cannot answer. Why did this happen to this person? Why did it not happen to that person? Why is somebody rich and why is another person poor? You have situations where even when you look at the effort that people put into life, their work, you see two people putting almost the same level of effort into what they're doing, and you have different outcomes. Why does it rain sometimes? Why doesn't it rain sometimes? Why do we have good harvest sometimes? Why we have bad harvest sometimes? Why do people pass through the same road? Some end up dying and others successfully go through this same road. We have many questions, and when we are not able to get good answers for these questions, we tend to gravitate towards religion. We feel, as human race, we feel that there must be a superior being out there that can supply answers to these questions. And you are right. There is a superior being outside there that can answer these questions. So we have religions. We have different types of religions. Some people worship what they don't know. But we have all kinds of religions. You can name them. Different parts of the world, different civilizations, we all gravitate towards the worship of a mystical being. But if that's the only reason why you seek knowledge beyond the unknown, beyond the known, then it's not enough. It's not sufficient. It's not sufficient. The fundamental question is really what happens after death. That's a fundamental question of religion. When you die, what happens? When I die, what happens? Well, this is a reason why we need to think of what we do here. Some people feel that once we're dead, we're dead. But the things that we see in this world, they give us ideas of what to expect in afterlife. I usually use the example of amphibians. They live their lives in two phases. The spirit of man does not die. Once a spirit is created, it lives forever. An amphibian starts its life in water and completes its life on land. it is very similar. This is a similitude. This is something telling us about what to expect when it comes to this life. We start here on earth, but it doesn't end here. So what's the proof of that? Many people can say there is no proof of that, but I'll give you one little glimpse. You remember the last time you slept? You were sleeping, but there's this part of you that did not sleep. You went somewhere with your friends in your dream. You did some things. Some people were running after you. You were trying to run away. And some people have these vivid dreams in such a way that even when they wake up in the morning, the dream continues. Some people wake up, panting from the event that happened, or some people wake up sweating from what happened in their dream. Some people wake up running out of the bed. Some people see marks on their body when they wake up in the morning because somebody was beating them in their dream, and then they wake up in the morning, they look at their bodies, they have marks. Some of these things shows you that life does not end here. That is the closest I can get. So what if instead of sleeping, when you die, you end up going to a place that you like or a place that you don't like? In actual fact, there are many testimonies or stories from people who died in the hospital and they were being prepared for the mortuary, and suddenly they come back. They tell us also about life after death. Well, we can ignore all this at our own peril. There is enough information to warn us about afterlife. So we can choose. I read a story of a king. This king had a jester in his palace. This jester will make anyone laugh. But there was this time that the king was not very happy. He was sick, and the jester kept trying his best. So finally the king got tired and called the jester. He said, "Jester, I want you to travel. I want you to do a research for me. And that research is find someone who is more foolish than you." Of course, in those days, you cannot argue with the king. You cannot dispute what the king is saying. So the jester packed up his things and kept traveling, because the king said, "Don't come back until you get an answer." So he traveled, he kept traveling, and finally he met someone. And the person said, a foolish person is a person that is going somewhere and does not prepare for that place. Whoa. So when the jester had this answer, he turned back and went back home. So apparently the king was not expecting him to come back, but he did. So he got back to the king. And the king said, "Hey, what happened? You came back. Did you find an answer?" And the jester said, "Yes, sir. I found an answer. And that's why I came back." And the king said, "Okay, tell us your answer. We would like to know what's the answer." And the jester said, "King, you are sick and you may die. Have you prepared for where you are going?" And the king said, "No." He said, "Then I'm sorry to say, I think you are more foolish than me." Of course, the king was angry, but the king got the message. Someday we will all leave this world, and we should seek an answer. In actual fact, if you read about the life of many wise men, wise popular celebrities, towards the end of their life, they ask one question. We have a guy back in Nigeria. He was so popular, a popular politician. He almost became the president of the country, although he didn't. It was so popular that the university was named after him. And towards the end of his life, he documented his search for answers. What happens after life? Because he realized he's nearing the end of his journey. He was nearing the end of his journey here on earth. And that is what religion should be about. If your religion cannot answer that question very well, then there's a problem. Maybe you need to change that religion. When you go to the Quran, Surah 19 and Surah 3, Surah in a common man's language, it's chapter 19 and chapter 3 of the Quran spoke extensively about Jesus Christ. Extensively about Mary, the mother of Jesus, the virgin birth of Jesus. So even by reading the Quran, that's what that song was about. You can find out about Jesus. You can learn a lot about Jesus. Of course, there are some discrepancies between some aspects of Jesus' life in the Quran versus the Bible, but you have enough in the Quran to tell you about Jesus. In actual fact, there are new believers now who are becoming believers just by reading their Quran. Just like many Christians don't read their Bible, there are many Muslims who don't read their Quran. If they read their Quran by themselves and understand it and process the information, they may actually come to different conclusions. So, What's religion about? Religion should be about life here, but more importantly, life after death. So, there were many prophets in the Quran, and there were many prophets in the Bible. The similarity between the two is that even in the Quran, there was no other prophet like Jesus. And in the Bible, there was also no other prophet like Jesus. So, this is the fundamental reason for calling Jesus the only way. How is he different from others? Well, in Surah 3, Quran chapter 3, and also chapter 19, it was confirmed that Jesus was born without a father. Jesus had no father. He was born without the normal process of creating a child. I mean, in the Quran. Now, all other prophets were born the natural way. This is distinctive even in the Quran. Of course, in the Bible, we know of the virgin birth. Jesus was born without the normal intercourse between a man and a woman. How does that connect to the life after death? The life, the outcome of your life after you leave this place. How are those two connected? Very simple. Very simple. All men have sinned and come short of the glory of God. What does that mean? The sin that is in you and in me makes it impossible for us to have a good afterlife. Period. Listen. Not only that we have committed sin since we came into this world, we were actually born in sin. A good analogy is this, okay? The DNA that is inside you is a sinful DNA. So you can't get out of that cycle. Personally, I don't eat dogs. I know some people eat dogs, but I don't. So if you are a member of that family, if you are a dog, you will never end up on my dinner table or my dinner plate just because you are a dog. You have the dog DNA in you, I won't eat you. You won't be cooked in my house. Very simple. So because you have the human DNA, you are not qualified to have good afterlife. You are already condemned to a bad afterlife. So you say, what about good works? Can't I be nice and do good things to people? Won't that count? No, it doesn't count. Look, no matter how good a dog tries to be, the dog may help people. You know, dogs help people. May help other dogs. May help cats. That will not qualify that dog to be on my dinner plate. Because I don't eat dogs. It's a dog. So all the good deeds that you do, listen, they are useless. They cannot give you afterlife. They are not good enough because you already have that DNA, that sinful DNA in you. So you will have bad afterlife. Unless there is an intervention. Unless a blood is shed for you. Unless a sacrifice is made for you. And whoever is going to make that sacrifice must not have the problem you have. You can kill goats, you can kill cows, you can kill ram. They cannot be good enough for you because you are not a ram. A ram can intervene for another ram. A ram cannot intervene for human beings. It has to be a person like you that doesn't have that bad DNA. That does not have the Adam that sinned. DNA. So how is that possible? There must be a second Adam that did not sin. You know the story of mankind. You know, you can try to come against that with science, and I guess by now you know that science is not conclusive. If science is conclusive, America will not have 5 million infected COVID patients today, and 162,000 people dead from COVID. Science is not conclusive. It's not conclusive. Let's just put it that way. Okay? So you cannot bring science against something that is already conclusive. So long story short, there must be a second Adam. The only way that second Adam could come into this world was by immaculate conception. Being born without a father. Surah chapter 3, Quran chapter 3 and Quran chapter 19 confirm that Jesus was born without a father. And the Bible, of course, confirms that Jesus was born without a father. So here comes the Savior of mankind. Because the only one that can save man is man. But a man without that DNA that is corrupt. So, your religion must help you transition from this person or that person that is already condemned to bad afterlife. You need to transition to someone who can obtain good afterlife. And we will continue from there.